Hello and welcome to the third annual X2 Conference 2016 here at the fabulous Anantara Riverside here in Bangkok. I'm joined now with Gautam Bhagat. Gautam, welcome.
Thank you, Jason. It's been my pleasure being here. And as always, I'm enjoying every moment of this conference.
So let's start, Gautam, with your business in particular. Which part of the world are you covering and what is it exactly that you would describe you do?
We come from India. And as you know, India is a large country. We are based in the capital, which is New Delhi. We have an office which is part of Delhi NCR, but coming from India, I mean, we are present in almost all major locations which matter for logistics in India. And we handle all kinds of logistics. I mean, we do inbounds, outbounds, cross-trade projects. Except for the courier business, we basically cover all the dimensions of logistics.
And some people would say that there's a reputation in India for being a little bit difficult to move things. So you're the professionals, right?
Yeah, I mean, India definitely is a very complicated country. I mean, India has some of the most complicated and rigid regulations. You know, when you look at the systems that we are governed with, a lot of them are outdated, but still we have to abide by that. And there is apparently a huge amount of paperwork which still needs to be done. I mean, be it an inbound shipment, be it an outbound, be it any sort of customs consultancy or any logistics support that you may need for inbound, outbound, whatever. We provide all that under the same roof. We have specialist consultants, you know, who have many years of experience of handling the clearance matters in particular. But we also have taxation experts. I mean, like if there's any sort of consultancy or advisory services needed, we do that for our clients.
So that's what you offer, Gautam. What's the importance of the X2 conference for you, the network?
I mean, it's a way for us to meet and connect with people who we have known for the last few years. It's also a way to come here and make new friends. I mean, conference on its own, like, you know, it's like a journey, it's not a destination. I mean, we actually are coming here to refresh things, you know, which apparently may have been in focus, but they slip out of mind. So to bring them back into focus, then we come here to make new connections, talk to people on things, you know, which are happening all around the world, share ideas and see, I mean, what could be done, you know, to enhance, you know, the business flow. I mean, this particular year or even the previous year was not probably the best, you know, for logistics worldwide. So with so many headwinds blowing in, I mean, this sort of a conference gives you an opportunity to meet like-minded people and discuss a lot about where we are and what do we do going forward.
And how would you rate X2 against some other conferences, for example?
I mean, X2 is definitely a very different conference. I mean, there is a tremendous amount of planning and personal effort which we see coming in from the X2 team to see that anyone who's participating in the conference gets almost, you know, the best experience, you know, they can. You know, I mean, nothing is possible without the efforts and the planning that goes in making the conference successful. I mean, Richard has been trying to you know, come up with new formats, you know, to make the same conference look different year after year. I mean, it was Anantara the first year, it was you know, a resort in Phuket, you know, the next year, I mean, where we all had a very casual environment, you know, to work upon, and we basically were just left on the island with some games, you know, to be played, you know, for the networking thing. So that was a very unique concept because coming from you know, INSEAD, I had an opportunity to understand that what it makes, you know, when you go for such outward bound exercises, because these are tremendous team building efforts, you know, where you really make a lot of people do things which they haven't done all their life.
So Gautam, would you say that the X2 conference brings fun as well as business?
Absolutely. In fact, it has to be fun with business, because that's what they say, mix pleasure with business. I mean, and I'm sure that, you know, if it's all business, it's going to be a trap. I mean, like if we are all just looking forward to do one meeting after the other with absolutely no other social engagement, you're not going to make friends. I mean, you might have business associates, but to make good friends, you need to move out from the business environment, which is what X2 offers you.
Excellent. And for you in the future, Gautam, what's happening with your business? How do you see a successful and positive future?
See, we are expanding, we are diversifying, we are looking at new opportunities in other formats of logistics also. I mean, one important lesson which I mean, people, at least in my generation, have learnt is Of course, in 1970s we saw the Great Depression, and then in 2014, 15, 2008 we had a recession, but apparently we always thought that that was the end. But in 2015 we again had a similar situation where we still feel that the dark clouds are not over. So we have to look at the ways for us to de-risk from what we are in. I mean, like, the biggest challenge in front of us is not to be complacent, and there is no place for complacency, and there is no substitute to hard work. So we are looking at multiple things now. I mean, like, we definitely, with this conference, we have many new faces which we are seeing. So we see that as an opportunity, to interact more with them, to try and see if we could in any way join hands and do some value addition.
So for anyone who needs to contact you, who may be watching now, Gautam?
LinkedIn Logistic Partners Private Limited. We are based in India, headquartered in Delhi, and we'll always be very, very glad to answer or do anything which we probably can, as far as logistics is concerned.
Well, Gautam, thank you for taking some time to talk to us, and enjoy the rest of your X2 experience. All the best for the future.
Thank you so much, Jason. It's always a pleasure for me to be here for the X2 conference.